Whatever you write down in an email can be used against you. It can make innocent people look guilty. We're going to talk about the 7 mistakes that people make when writing emails that gets them into trouble. Never do these things. First, never write an angry message. Never write anything that you wouldn't say to someone face to face. So, for example, don't write an email to one of your friends at work saying, you know what, I really hate my supervisor. He's a liar, he's two-faced, and he's a backstabber. You just turn that email into evidence. It makes you look emotional, it makes you look impulsive, and it makes you look like you're someone who can't be trusted. So never write angry emails. Number 2, never write an email where you make assumptions about people's motives. For example, don't write in an email, I just had a meeting with my supervisor and he said my performance this semester was not as good as he hoped it would be. I know that he hates me, or she. I know that he or she wants me fired, and they don't like me, and I have to get a new job. When you assume people's motives, it doesn't enhance your credibility. It once again makes you look angry, vindictive, and impulsive. So you have to resist the urge in the heat of the moment to say something now that you will regret later. Number 3, don't tell jokes over email that can be misunderstood. This is a big one. So, for example, don't say, you know what, I really not like this new guy at work. He's from New Jersey and he's Italian. Must be in the mafia. I wouldn't want to cross that guy. That makes you look really stupid. It makes you look like you're someone who stereotypes, and it really harms your reputation. So while it may seem funny to you, it does not seem funny to others. So once again, resist the temptation. Number 4, this happens far more often than you might think. Don't make threats by email that you do not intend to carry out, and more broadly, don't make threats. Don't say, you know what, I've had it with my colleague, okay? He or she gossips all the time, causes so much friction in our department. I'm not going to handle this anymore. I'm going to make sure I get her. Okay, once again, when you make threats like that, you look unstable. You look like someone who's not interested in compromise or resolution, but in exacerbating that friction and causing tension. That's not a person who can be trusted. Number 5, don't make statements that you cannot prove. This is a big one. Don't say in an email, for example, I know that my supervisor favors some of the professors over others. It's so obvious. I know that he or she gives better committee assignments to some people than others. The favoritism is so ridiculous. Can you prove that? No, you can't prove that. You're making an assumption. You're drawing a conclusion off of something that you cannot prove. And when you can't prove something, but you allege it anyway, it makes you look untrustworthy and unreliable. Traits that are not a good fit for any job. Number 6, and this should be obvious, but it so often is not. Do not send emails when you're emotional, because what you say in the heat of the moment is going to come back to haunt you later on. I know the urge to get it off your chest to someone who you think is going to listen to you and validate you and understand you. But number 1, you can't necessarily trust that person. You can't trust necessarily that information, that email is not going to get out. And number 2, it makes you look unhinged as someone who can't handle stress or even unfairness, who reacts in the heat of the moment rather than responds rationally. So never get emotional in an email. And 7, and this is the rule you should live by, anything that you would be embarrassed to see in public, you should never say in an email. You may think that email is private, but more often than not, if there's an investigation, that email becomes public. If there's an Open Records Act request, that email becomes public. So ask yourself, no matter how angry you are, how emotional you are, how unfairly you think you've been treated, do I want this email to be seen by everyone in public? If the answer is no, don't send it. Follow these 7 tips, and you'll find yourself on the right side of investigations if and when they happen. Take care.